Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, you guys. It is. All right. There we go. I think you have sound. Or you should. Yep. Okay. There we go. It is Sunday, you guys. It is time for our little chit chat hangout. And you can see since the last week, I have made some much more progress. Trying to paint all these little miniature Russians is interesting, to say the least. So um, it's so far it's going pretty good. With that said, wow, the game today between Clint and D, they had a game of Team Yankee, and it got late, so I couldn't finish and stay. But I was just informed before the show started that D won. Hey, Charles, how are you, sir? How are you? Um, Hoping your Sunday's a good one there, Charles. You can see my little using Citadel color for the little berets on these guys. I got the dots on their uniform. Got, oh man, multiple stuff going on with them. And now I got to touch up the 8Ks with a little bit of wood. And then at least that group is done. But yeah, it's been interesting. And I did order a resin tank, Charles, just to see, because these are the T64s that come in the kit. This is a resin T64, identical, very highly detailed, and the difference is 5 of these, if I order them from someone making them, it's going to cost about $22. Buying 5 of these in the store is going to run $45. So big difference. But I'm going to get that one, probably mess with this one, paint it up a little bit tonight, and I get the primer on there, wash it off, get the residue off, and let it dry. Holy cow, they went 5 hours yesterday? Wow. Well, shows can do it. I haven't had one go that long. Longest I've had was a little over 3 hours. And we just kept talking, and I mean, time just kind of slipped away. But yeah, Sinaj's show, sometimes I can hop on if I'm not babysitting my granddaughter, and sometimes I can't, And I wanted to get on and say hi. So I did for a while, but I didn't, geez, 5 hours that's a lot. Hell. I mean, that is a long time, Charles. But that's good. I mean, I'm glad they got to go for 5 hours. Today, I'll probably keep it to about an hour. Just because I'm getting to where, if you can see, I'm getting finished up on these guys, and I've got to take them gunners off and start trying to get some camo stripes on these. At least according to what it shows on the cover art. Well, hello, Ledford. How are you, sir? I've been good. I've been busy doing detail work on these little guys. Hands, faces. Yeah, they're little. But I've been good. I hope you're doing good too. I did score though. I ordered me a resin tank, Ledford. Look, the detail on this thing is pretty good. It's exactly like what I bought, except it's going to be about $20 cheaper per 5 tanks. Oh, cool. Brand new job, more money and benefits. Hell yeah. Take it. Especially the way the world is going. If you can get the extra money at a better job, do it. Do it. Congratulations then, Ledford. I hope it works out for you, because the job I got now doesn't really pay much more, but it's more convenient. And it's where, because I manage the mobile home park I live in, it's easier. I can walk to work. The only problem is I can never frickin' call off. Oh, here? Yeah, I'm just doing this here. I wanted to just show off some of what I was doing because a lot of the detail work on shading, it's hard to see on the camera, but shading these things and dry brushing them, back brushing them, and all this other stuff. So I'm not sure what to do. This objective is supposed to be like asphalt, where the guys are guarding it. So I think I'll leave it black for now and try to figure out what I want to do. Maybe I'll go over it with a little bit of gray. But the hardest one's going to be to paint this objective part to make it look like a chain. I can't say, but if you can recognize this, I know you can recognize that. But in the game, it's like this, sideways or upside down. So, but yeah, that's a different story. I got to get some colors for that. Oh yeah. All right, Charles, if you spent the morning, well, trying to make the best use of your space is the whole reason I converted the kids' room. All they did was they grew up, gaming in the room, the boys did. So just made sense to make it the game room. And now that I have like a dedicated area to game in, it's a lot easier. Like, the table behind me, I got stuff on there and whatnot. But tonight, we're going to set up one of those hex encounter games, Charles, and start messing around with that. But see, I could leave it, and the door shuts. The, dog's not going to come in and ruin it. So yeah. But congratulations again, Ledford. Man, I hope your new job works out. In this day and age, any good news is good news. This guy's not really going to want to fit there. Dang, nabbit. I'm trying to get this commander's head into the top of this turret here. So he's a little guy. I guess it'll set it or something like that. It's going to be fun to glue in. Yep. We'll probably do that after the show so I don't glue my fingers together while I'm live on the air, right? Because that would just be too much fun. This happens, glue accidents. But yeah, they played a group of game of Team Yankee today, but not at the coffee shop, just like in an area we can game. And Keegan and Dee gamed, so Keegan ended up losing. But I guess it was a good game. I had to leave to come over here to get this going so I could do that. So yeah, but cool. Anyways, that's what I've been doing in the evenings. Touching up faces, touching up hands, touching up the rifles, touching up all the little teeny tiny stuff on every little guy. Shading them. This is pretty good what I used for the skin shade. I used the Colors of War skin shade. And I'll paint the guy's skin. I used the Vallejo, just the basic skin tone. I know it looks orange, but when it dries, it's not really orange. And then when you put the shade on there, boom, then it becomes a face. So yeah. So Charles is 3 game maps. That's enough. I give you credit for that, Charles. So Ledford, it is and it isn't. What I do is it is a little difficult, but on the faces, I just simply, sometimes you got to use a good old-fashioned toothpick, to touch up little areas or something to that effect. And then once you let the skin tone dry, you just dap the shade on there, and it kind of moves around and fills into the little crevices. And and it works. It's time consuming. You can't do it fast if you want the detail. You can speed paint them like if they were zombies or something. Like you could just spray them or do something. But these guys, they're troops, and so to make that toy soldier look, it takes a little bit to do. But so far, I'm proud of them. It'll work, and then I've got to just camo up. The tanks are not camoed in the game, but the other equipment is. So I got to get a bottle of correct stuff for that and get that going and mess around with that. Resin tank came yesterday in the mail, so I picked it up today, and I'm pretty impressed. I mean, this thing's pretty damn detailed. So, there's a little bit of cleanup on it, but really, really not enough that people are going to notice, even if you didn't. So, I think it'll be okay. But so far, it's been a good day. It's been a warm day. There's been no snow and all that stuff. So I cannot complain, you guys. So far so good. It's been a good week. And but you see this, Charles? Look what I did with my headquarters. I made the base a little bit shiny for my headquarters. So when I look at the table, I mean, I'm not going to get it confused with the other ones that have sets of 3. So that'll stand out. That's kind of an eye popper. I think that'll work. Oh, where do I live, Ledford? Well, sometimes I think it's Alaska, but apparently I live in Iowa. I think the feral herd of penguins I ran across the other day in 10 below weather will argue with me. Although the one guy, I'm just going to call him Little Timmy, he's soft. And he actually liked coffee, dude. I'm surprised. Them penguins dig once you give them caffeine. And it's almost like they were designed for it, just boom, right through the snow. So yeah. So Alaska Outback is what I tell people, but apparently on the map it's Iowa, if that makes any difference. But if we go with the map, we'll go with Iowa. The reality is Alaska's warmer, so what do you do? So whereabouts do you live at, Ledford? Or wait, don't you live in one of the penthouses at the casino in Nevada? Because that's probably your new job, huh? Like management of one of the large casinos with all the benefits. I'm betting. You're in Michigan. I hear it gets kind of cold out there sometimes too. I just say that jokingly. So, oh well, yeah. Maybe it's Charles that lives in the penthouse. I can't remember. It's somebody I know. It's just not me. I'm too broke. I just live in a mobile home. I don't know why they call it mobile either. It makes no sense. There's no way to move it around. There's no wheels on it. It's like sitting on a foundation. So, not a mobile home. But, yeah, it is what it is. Oh, wow. Hey, man, if you work at a casino, that's cool. Even better, midnight shift. Hell yeah. No suits to bother you. Less likely. It's less crowded. Less everything. Yeah. And I do know that a friend of ours from years ago, she got a job at a casino in another state, I guess a large one. And she called one day and goes, "What do I do with all these ones? What do you got?" Because I used to drive a taxi once in a while. And she's like, "What do I do with all the ones I get for tips?" And I said, "I don't know. How many ones do you have?" "I don't know, 300 or 400. I said, "Well, go to the cashier. I mean, you're at a casino. Go trade it in." $300 or $400 in tips. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the wrong business. Cleaning kitchens, nothing wrong with that, man. Especially if they're going to pay you decent like that, and you're left alone. Who cares? Yep. Good money is good money these days. Just take it where you got it. That's all you can do. Our local casinos out here in Iowa, they're They pay pretty good. I've talked to a couple of people that actually the better paying ones are the ones that do the blackjack tables because of the tips and stuff. So, um, but I kind of like your job there, Ledford, because you're just going to be left alone. Like nobody's really going to be bothering you in the kitchen. So that's my kind of a shift. Um, I used to work weekends at the local newspaper here, but I'm not delivering them, but like coordination and of the deliveries and all this other crap, customer service, and it's quite interesting because on the weekends you're at work at 5 a.m. and then you work till like 11. But I liked it because there was nobody really around. Soaring Eagle, okay. I'll look it up. I haven't been to a casino in a while, Ledford, but I don't mind going. It is gaming after all. It's just classified as blinking light therapy, and I suffer from a moth-like condition. At least I self-diagnose myself that way. That way, I can take on the blinking light therapy. It makes sense to me. Hopefully the insurance will take the charges for that. But yeah, I mean, you can only try, right? So we could do, but casinos are fun. It's the only place I've ever been where people are yelling and screaming and they're happy. They're not yelling and screaming and throwing fits and stuff. So, but hell yeah, I'll look that up. Sounds like if it's big, then you'll do good. At least it's long-term work too. I guess my job is interesting that I have now. So it's like rolling dice every day. So, got to have some fun. But, oh boy, all right. You got any names coming through there? That sounds cool. Concerts are fun, man. I took my daughter when she was younger to her first ever concert. I probably should have been a bit more gentle, Ledford, but I took her to a Slipknot concert. She was petrified and excited the whole time. Stood there holding my hand, and literally, you could feel, the music going through your chest and your bones and all that. So yeah, they have some names that come through. I just haven't been able to go to the casino the last couple of years. Just haven't had the time, and the expenses get to be too much, and then the requirements, and just it's become such a hassle that they've taken all the fun out of it anymore. In a lot of places, I don't know about where you're at, but generally, I do enjoy concerts, man. So, what did you put there? All right, yep. So I'm just kind of hanging out for a little bit till about 5 and say hi, see who can come by. Sometimes we get a bunch of people, sometimes we don't, but it's just fun to show up anyways. And oh, you're trying to see how many days? Oh yeah, look up whatever it is. I mean, whatever work you got is good. You know, it's all good, man. And without the job, I wouldn't be able to afford to buy stuff. But I'm telling you, these resin printed tanks changed my mind because the older ones on the filament, like we have a filament printer and we use it for dice towers, buildings, and stuff like that is okay. Um, but resin, where it actually builds it in the light inside the fluid, the light hardens it up. It's insane, anyways, how it does it, and then what? What says you followed me for 2 years? I've had a stalker for 2 years. Hell yeah! Woo! All right. Well, thank you then, Ledford. time just kind of passes sometimes. You don't realize it. Like, crap. Like I said, this is the kids' room, man. I mean, as a parent, I can be sentimental for a second or two. It's just the indicator by your name. Oh, well, I guess I don't see it on this end. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you followed. Thank you. I appreciate it. You should come on sometime if you ever want to. It's free, so you can do that. And I know it holds. I've had five people at a time on here before. But thank you for following me. I appreciate that, man. And anytime you want to get on and say hi, we can do that as long as you got a laptop or something. It doesn't seem to. I don't know. Some phones, I guess it depends on the phone and the phone's capability as to how well it works with that, but I don't know. Oh, you just got your phone? Yeah. My phone, I'm going to have to do something with. The other one I had for years, and then I got a new one like 2 years ago, and that thing didn't last 2 years, and it started screwing up, so I used my insurance, and then the phone they gave me it's so slow. It's like you touch something, and then you set the reminder to wake you up when the screen's finished loading. It's annoying. So, yeah, you can only do so much with phones. But it works for what I need it to, and it works for now. So, there we go. Let's see. What other news? Well, we're on our countdown to going to March to Victory. And that's going to be fun. So, we'll live stream from there. I actually bought a memory card for the phone that should be here sometime in the next week so that I can expand the memory. And so hopefully while I'm live streaming from the phone out there, it will be able to at least work better, I hope. And I'll take my laptop, and because we're going to run a game out there, I'll probably do that through the laptop. This particular camera I have here, and oh man, I got stuff stuck to my finger. Glue will do that. So I trouble when you're done gluing some of those miniatures together. Sometimes you get stuff stuck to your finger from. So we'll do that while we're out there. Let's see how that works. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm just looking forward to going. And it should be okay. We should be able to get that accomplished. It's more or less. It's about 5.5 to 6 hours drive, depending on. Well, it depends on how fast you go. If you engage warp drive, and those little green dots going by, you realize they're not stars; they're like trees. But you're going so fast, it's just like you're in hyperspace. Then we might make it there sooner. But to avoid tickets and stuff, it takes a good 5 hours. Plus, every once in a while, you just got to get out of the car. You're just tired of sitting and stretch. So it should be fun, though. We're going to go have fun. And honestly, that's what it's all about, is just having fun. So it should be good. And it's not expensive. We're just going to split the gas to go there, and then we feed ourselves. So, I mean, there's some expense, but it's not an overwhelming amount. There's a lot of these conventions and stuff I'd like to go to. It'd be cool. If I had more income, I could do that. But what game we're going to do out there? Not Zombicide. We're going to do Team Yankee Red Dawn for, remember the movie? Let's see. Red Dawn. The movie. So it's based off that, and that's what we're gonna do, those scenarios. Oh, hey, Minnie, warm up. Yeah, be careful driving home, man. Be careful. Yeah, so we're doing that. It's hold on a second here. So I got the rule book for it. So it's got the forces, these forces here, and then the Wolverines that were in the movie, which we can't get a hold of. They sold out so fast that literally nobody has them. So but it's going to be on that. And then just to let you know, the big box store that most of us don't really care for but go to, it's Blue. I won't say the name, but it's always in the news and yada yada. They do have this. Hold on a second. They do have this 1 and 2. I mean, 2 was okay. $5. So I picked it up just for the hell of it, because $5 for the old movie would be worth it. And I don't get a chance to watch too many movies, and I really don't watch TV, and that's by choice because I'm just tired of some things. But occasionally, it's kind of nice to just relax. And so, if you like Red Dawn movie, you could get both of them for $5 in their little bin there that they have. So, but Team Yankee is what we'll do. Zombicide probably would have been, I want to say, maybe a better choice in the sense that you just take the box and go. This is transporting miniatures that you painted and all that. I have a map I had made on Etsy. One of the sellers there makes some. So I'm like, this looks cool if it's made the way the picture is. And so, but they're in the UK, so I just got notice today that they'll ship that out, I think. Is it the 21st? So Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever. I think it should be Tuesday is the 21st. So that's a big one. It's a 6 foot by 4 foot cloth map. And it'll at least be easy to transport, should cover the table and give us enough room to fight on. My table in the back is 4 by 4, which is plenty of room for this. So, and it's a map that could be used with other stuff other than Team Yankee, so I could use other battles on it. Yeah, so Ledford, the shipping was damn near as expensive as the map. It's kind of funny because you have a custom map made, and then your shipping is almost what the map is. And so I'm like, I really can't afford this, but I can't afford to go to a show and try to represent, gamers with coffee and then just have cheesy crap. I want to be a nice little display. So in the long run, I'll use the map anyways repeatedly for other stuff, because we do like, the original tanks and those battles and World of Tanks, like the video game World of Tanks. So we got that. That's the tabletop box set. So it'll be useful for multiple games. It won't just be one. And yeah, the European shipping it's really ridiculous. I mean, if you want to try to like support your local group or channel and you buy, I don't know, a t-shirt or a coffee cup or something, like I've done for a couple of these other channels, the one in the States, no problem. The coffee cups are what they are. But the other one was from across the pond, and I'm like, yeah, it was pretty pricey, just to get that cup. So sadly, all these rules and regulations and all that, it makes it really difficult for people who just want to get their name out and do something, because the shipping end of it's just all getting to be expensive. So, but that's what we're going to do is the Team Yankee Red Dawn, and this will be fun. The Soviets, like I said, are almost done. I've shaded them, done the skin shading. So next thing I'm going to do with this little group is I need to go back and touch up. The last thing I wanted to do is on their rifles is touch up the wood. So that will be the next thing. And then this group of figures, there's 24, they'll be done. And they'll be ready to mount on their bases. So then I got another box I can do, but I don't have to have the other box. So this will work, But there we go. That is the game plan. And then camo up some of these vehicles, and I'll be good to go. I have a nice little transport bag for because I have the East German Team Yankee stuff, and it's in that big black case back there. So it's a big, like a case of it. and I have them in the foam stuff. So plus it plays a regular tank. So I'll probably take some of the guys out of there to transport these, because that way they're safe and they don't get broken. If they were just staying here, I'm gonna, on the bottom of these bases, these are gonna be hard to magnetize because they're flat. The bases are flat, but they're thick enough. Might be able to put a little one in there. I don't know. It'd be a little difficult on those. Otherwise, magnetizing the other ones is what I've done, and put them in just a little plastic totes. And yeah, so I have little containers to put them in. So we'll do that. We'll figure it out one way or another. As long as Keegan does not eat beans before we get going on the ride, then I think we'll be okay. We should be good that way. But if you're curious, like, look up marchtovictory.org, and that's where you're going. You'll see our squirrel, our Piratey Squirrel logo at the bottom too, because we sponsored that. So that's kind of cool. But there you go, Ledford. That's where we're at. And tonight, I think I'm going to touch up some of what I got to touch up, let it dry, and start setting up a hex encounter game that I have. I've been dying to take out and get it set up so I can start kind of going through it off and on during the week. The only hesitation I've had, you guys, on starting anything new is I'm trying to make sure that every ounce of my time that I have left is taking care of this stuff for going out there to the show. And that's why, because if we're going to go do this show, we were there last year and it was really good. And we had a great time with the people throwing the show and everybody we met. And so they liked us. They like us coming back. We like them. We want to go back. So, hey, it's just going to be a good thing all the way around. And it should be fun. Yes, I do want to do it right, Ledford. You're correct. So I can't do it as fancy maybe as some other people, but we'll make it a good showing. So it'll be okay. I think it'll be all right. And the fact that we're able to practice playing this particular game again is good. Plus, it gets our models out, and we can get those things going, because it gives you like a reason. Whereas a lot of times, like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'll get to that now. It's like, no. You're going to do this because you're going here, and it has to be done. So it's good. And maybe I'm being too detailed, I guess. I probably don't have to be for tabletop, but I am. And I think a lot of gamers are too. So we will do it the best we can. Hopefully Mini Warm-Up makes it home safe. He's probably got tacos waiting for him when he gets there, so it'll be good for him. But sounds like Charles there too, you guys. Check his channel out. He's always putting something up, including food. He puts up food once in a while. And as a gamer, I appreciate that, because I like to eat food too. I mean, it's just one of those things. But these got to get done, and I've got to do my Star Wars Legion. And because I'm pretty much caught up with everything else I've done. My Necromunda guys are done and ready to go. We're going to pick that campaign back up after we go to the March to Victory place, because no point in starting any other campaign when we got to brush up on the rules that we're working with when we go. And so that's going to be the focus of the next couple of weeks, because now we're down to just, a month, actually, like to the day, like within a month. So not very much longer, and it'll be time to go. And so we'll be doing that. And we'll let you know, Ledford, too. It'll just be live streamed to YouTube, probably at first, when we do our our game out there, our presentation, we will probably, well, they do have internet and all that set up there too. So I'll take the laptop and the extra camera and a mic, and we'll do it. We'll probably do it that way because then I can stream it to our group and stuff too. But just wandering around looking at tables and meeting people, we're probably just gonna stream that, just like normal. But that'll go right to YouTube and not necessarily Facebook because I don't have a way to split it on my phone like that yet. Although I'm sure they have a mobile version of this, I wouldn't trust my phone till I could upgrade it. So we'll have to wait and see. Oh, there you go, Charles. Charles says he's got some Gundam models to build and paint, and a figure from Wiley Games to paint. All right, what figure did you get, Charles? I bought a couple from Wiley Games while I was out there last year with the Fistful of Lead rules so that we could do Western stuff. And I have to get them finished painted. But build a scenario, yeah. So that's always fun. I think as long as everybody agrees to the scenario and agrees to the rules, you're good to go. Some of these rules of some of the games seems to be a little bit redundant or a bit much. I've kind of been tinkering with rules for quite some time, like an idea of what I would like to do in a game, and maybe one day I'll do something with that. But they would be for, what you say there, a big Bertha battle suit, yeah. So Alpha Strike, speaking of battle suits and Gundam and, mech robot slash things. So Alpha Strike was pretty fun game, and supposed to do another one with Clint here soon. I mean, I won that one, which was surprising because my mech was pretty underpowered, but some of the mechs are pretty cool. I guess it's just like we've talked about 100,000 times. You can only do so many games. I mean, this is like the golden era of tabletop and video game. There's so much to choose from. It's unending, and it's a lot. So, Ludford, yeah, actually, for the last 4 years or so, I've been kicking something around here with Clint, but life has been pretty crazy. Trying to get together and do things. He's had 2 family members, his dad and his daughter, passed away. My life's been turned upside down by a few things. It's been like ongoing things to interfere. Well, now that it's all settling down, it's calming down. I think I will work on that some more, but they have just be inherently pretty easy rules because there's something to be said for the complicated rules, and I think some of it's just overcomplicated because you can't account for every single little thing. Like, well, if this is real life, da da da. If when you do that, then it gets to be a lot, and so it's kind of hard that way too. And anytime a game gets burdened down by the rules being overly cumbersome or just too much to do to resolve a movement, then that drags it out. And today people they're not able to sit and game. They will video games, man, all day long. I talk to people, I would sit there 12 hours. They'll watch Netflix, they'll bench fit, watch 20 shows, but they won't sit for 40 minutes and play a game at a table because they'll tell you they don't have time. Well, they do got the time. They can't do it for whatever reason. So, I'd be more or less looking at the ones I've been working on are going to be multi-purpose. So, but I think easy is best to get people going. That's just my idea. Let's see here. Charles, you said your Gundams will work with 28 millimeter. Well, yeah, I guess depends on the size of the Gundam you got there. And Infinity. Now, Infinity, Charles, Infinity is not. I mean, I know about the game, and it was huge at one of our stores here. We used to have one in the mall, and they would have games with Infinity till about 2 or 3 in the morning. They had 2 nights a week, if I remember right, where they would, when the store closed at 9, the players would come in at 10, and they would game till 2 or 3 in the morning. And the gamers were just the customers of that store. So it's a good game from what I understand. I personally have not played it. I've heard of some of the factions. I looked at it a little, but I'm so tied up with what I'm doing. The next one I really want to get to is my Star Wars Legion, because I like X-Wing quite a bit, and Star Wars Legion is, to me, that's, if you like Star Wars, then you're gonna like that. Ledford says, what era will the game be? Well, Ledford, I was looking at making something that'll work with most eras. Now, if you go too far backwards, like if you get into the way back historicals, like Romans, the historical Napoleonics, and all this stuff, that's all different kinds of fighting. So probably more towards modern age, but not a sci-fi thing, not a thing like that. So yeah, something universal. Your good guys, Charles, are space mouselings, heavy armor and heavy weapons, and a merc pair, an Ewok and a Wookiee. There you go. Them Ewoks were dangerous little critters, weren't they? They really put a pounding on them stormtroopers. Oh yeah, fistful of lead rules. Charles says he uses. That's all he uses, and those are good rules, dude. Yeah, they're nice rules. Yes, Ledford. That's kind of my thoughts there. Something universal. But yeah, Charles, I have the fistful of lead. The core rule books. I haven't got the bigger battles one, but I was looking at, because I have a lot of Warhammer stuff. They've tied in with that now to where they've got their own, version of rules for it. So I was thinking of looking at that next, because Warhammer it can be overly complicated and sometimes hard to remember stuff. And maybe it's harder for me because I'm not set on just one game. If I was, then I would know more about it, and probably because that's all you're doing. And but I branch out on too many other games. I'm kind of like those pachinko balls in a pachinko game. Bing, bing, bing. But then I also get to enjoy a lot of games. I'm not stuck with just one specific game and then not knowing the others. But the drawback, you guys, I'm telling you, is you start getting all these rules and they're slightly off, and you're like, So, yeah, you gotta use what's good for you. There's quite a few independent rules out there these days, so it would be best to just check around and see what you like. Wiley Games Fistful of Lead. I got nothing but good things to say about it. It's a damn good rule system. So, but you got to find something that works for you. And as far as the too far back in time historical stuff, that's a different thing to do, because the era in the people that play those games, and I have to give them a lot of credit because they're extremely knowledgeable historically, and right down to they wouldn't have used that kind of wood to make that spear, or this wouldn't be the color on that article of clothing at the time. And I say that in a good way. They're that knowledgeable. So I would be a little leery of trying to design rules with that people with far more knowledge than me, on a subject could do. So what I'm doing and what I've been looking at the last couple of years is just something towards more in the last 100 years, more modern. Because I think, like I said, historical stuff is pretty in depth, and I know basic stuff, and I know enough about history to know. All I can say is go look up history. You'll find it's not exactly what you were told in school, right? You're like, what? So once you start researching a lot of stuff that you never were taught, it becomes pretty in depth. And these gamers have been doing it for years, so I'm nowhere near their level of expertise on stuff. And I don't really have the time to go learn because school is so superficial and it doesn't teach you a lot of stuff. So much stuff you start reading, you're like, oh wow, they never told us this, or that. And my brain's already saturated with what I'm doing. So um, yeah. So we'll stick with something more that everybody knows. But Fistful of Lead rules, they're very good rules. Um, and Jay's a pretty good guy, and his brother's a good guy, and McMurray and Todd and Jeff, and all these guys I've met that all hang out together. They're a pretty cool group of people. So that's the nice thing about gaming. You get to meet other people, and um, everybody has their own opinions. But what's nice is you can talk like you used to do. 2,000 years ago, people could have a difference of opinion, sit down and talk, and not walk away mad. Today you could say, okay, I see that. I've been in discussion with gamers, and they might have their own points, but man, it's so nice to have a conversation that it's pretty cool. And Charles, you're saying, well, hey, Cody, how are you, sir? How you doing? I just seen that pop up. Hopefully you're doing good. Charles, yeah. So the bigger battles, now I don't know the Rampart rules. You guys have brought those up a lot, Charles. I've never read them, so I can't sit here and speak to them. But Fistful of Lead rules are pretty nice. They work pretty well. So I don't have anything bad at all to say about them. But the other rules I'd have to look at. I've just noticed that everybody's got different. Everybody has their own favorite, whatever game rules and that stuff. And Cody says, not too bad you're playing World of Warcraft. All right, and you had a chance to sit in. Thanks, Cody, for stopping by. I haven't heard from you in quite some time. World of Warcraft is a hugely popular game, been around forever. And like I've said before, one of these days, my son keeps saying I've got to pressure him on it. I got to get him back to do the Elder Scrolls, A Call to Arms. Modiphius did such a damn good job with that game that it's ridiculous. And it's beautifully done. The pieces are nice. The map is phenomenal, and none of it's junk. Modiphius did a really good job on their terrain and stuff. So in Elder Scrolls, everybody's familiar with that in the video game world. So to have it on the table and play the same is pretty cool too. But well, I'm glad you got to sit in on the stream there, Cody. And so there you go, Charles. If it works for you, you have some interesting games I've watched you play. So you got a good imagination, and that's what it takes, man. Some of these you play by the book, others you can ad hoc and do your own. I was looking at a set of, it's on eBay. It was just a set of, my God, I can't remember what it's called. A set of like 5 cowboy figures, a wagon, and then it had little cards for each one, but no rules. So in other words, you could buy it and go, okay, here's the stats for this character. Now just simply work out rules that you want to do. And I was like, oof, it's only like $15. At one of these points, I might just pick them up because, they would work together and you could do something Western themed too. So, but yeah. It's all good. I like to learn new games, you guys. So whatever it is that comes out, I guess I should get back on Xbox Live. It's been a while since I've been on Xbox Live. I used to really enjoy if I had a group of people to do like domination on Call of Duty or kill confirmed or an objective type game, but nobody wants to do it and help you out. They're all worried about their KD and stuff. And you're like, this is an objective game. Don't worry about your KD. Do the. Well, I got 58 kills. Yeah, you have one defend. I mean, you didn't play the game for what it was. You just staked out the areas and used them as kill zones and did nothing to contribute. So it's kind of hard when you're looking for people to work with you. It never used to be that way, but over the years, it's just gotten to be where it was just annoying. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to take a break from video games for a while, and because I do like some, but I'm mostly first-person shooters like Battlefield and Battlefront, that kind of stuff. So, oh wow, hello there, Mythos. How are you? Mythos stopped by to say hi. Thank you, sir. I got the little blue helmets on the Russians, and I got the skin done, and I got the shading on the skin, and this back brushing and shading on the uniform, and the weapons painted, and the slings on the weapons painted. Mythos, I just now need to touch up the AKs with the wood. And then back brush over the helmets and doll them up. Oh, and then I got little dot of yellow to put on the top of this helmet, on the front of their beret, I mean. And then a little red star. But since it's such a big figure, that should be no problem. Oh, look, Mythos, my new paintbrush. I think they call it a needle. Works pretty well. Yes, I did. I got a lot of detailed painting done. So you might recognize a Warhammer color on here off the Space Marines for the base on my headquarters. Shiny, look. What do you think? That way when I set it down on the others that have 3 figures, I know right away this is my HQ on the battlefield. Somebody might go, well, I don't know. I'm going to say, look, my guys brought their own bling. It just comes from the Space Marines, so that's okay. But it's going to stand out. I'm not going to be able to look at the table and go, oh, geez, where'd the HQ go in this mess? Because there's more guys to do than this. I mean, there's 48 of them. This is just the first 2 dozen. So, yes, I have done intentionally a lot of detailed painting the last couple nights. It's taken a while. But I know the camera don't show it, but I don't know how good it'll really show them, but they do work out pretty good. And check this out, Mythos. You weren't here earlier. But see these tanks here? These are the Russian T-64 BVs, they're called, with the heavy armor plates. And so 5 of these, is your standard $45 for a box, right? Look at this. Resin printed. Pretty. Detailed as hell. $5. And that was for me to have somebody make it. So I could get 5, right, for $25, not $45. So $20 significant savings. Yep. I mean, they're detailed. It even came with the tops for, it looks like it's missing, but it's not. It's in a little bag here. So it has 2 different styles of the tops. It'll have the machine gun with the hatch closed, or the machine gun open, with the hatch open, to put a commander in there and make it your HQ for your tanks. And I mean, it's pretty sturdy built. So it's look at that. It just, I mean, don't even really got to file it. There's going to be very minimal filing. But this is one of those liquid resin prints, and crap, like you guys were saying, that resin print is going to take over. I already have cards for those, right? So, I mean, why not buy an original box set, get your cards, and then if you need more, you can print the extras because you have the cards. And in this case, this is an identical match. I mean, there is no difference. There's just none. And it is much, much more cost effective. So I said, hey, Clint, you've got a resin printer, man. You got a Saturn. To print these would be about 80 cents a whack. I got to pay somebody $5 on eBay, which includes shipping, so I'm not complaining. But we could do it even cheaper and make yourself an army. Keegan now has a resin printer, although he goes on the dark side of the web, so hopefully he prints things that are appropriate. But we will see what he ends up printing. And he's also working on some roads too, Mythos. So that will work because we need some roads. So there you go. City roads. We got to paint them and whatnot, but that's not hard to do. So that'll be good. And I got the objective pretty much done with these guys, but the funky, you know what? It goes this way. So, but that store, I've got to figure a way to match it how they did in the movies, and I don't see any decals or anything for that. So I don't know. I will do what I can with that, because that will go standing up with the objective right there. It'll just stand up and be the objective that these Russians their equipment's broke down and they're by it. So it'll work in the long run. I just gotta paint it up. But otherwise, yeah, that's what I've been doing, sir. Lots of detail. So I haven't gotten, I guess, well, I don't know. There's 24 miniatures, so it's just been, that's what it is. I'm happy. But look at my back, where you back brush it and dry brush it. I used Nurgling green over the Army uniform. And then when you put the shade on it, comes out super nice. Super nice. So there you go. Some Citadel colors on some Battlefront stuff. I mean, it works. It works. But there we go, Mythos. I have been busy getting stuff done. Oh, the shade. Hold on a moment here. There's my bottle. So what I'm doing is 3 steps on it. Well, there's 4 steps on the uniform, basically. So I, first of all, primed their metal. So I primed them all gray with the metal plastic primer that I used by Rust-Oleum. So I sprayed them real lightly just to seal in that metal and make the paint adhere. That's the first step on them. Then the second one is to use Army Painter Green Army paint. That was the base coat over all these miniatures. Okay, then when they dried, then you dry brush them with the Nurgling green, I'm sorry. And that, it like gave, it off did it, it created shadows, it gave depth to the little recesses and things like that. Then, once you did that, I used some Flames of War dry dust, or it could be like, it's the equivalent of like Vallejo's Iraqi sand, because these troops have the little light tan dots. If you remember in the movie, when they're running around, they got those little light tan dots. Okay, now we get to the shade after I did that. So then I used Army Painter's Soft Tone. It's a soft tone brown. They have different shades, but this one's really nice. And if you can hear it, it comes with a ball bearing in it already, right? So a little BB. But this is just their soft tone brown shade. So then I just shaded over them. And then, of course, the boots I painted black. The face, I used the Vallejo basic skin tone. And then when it dried, I put the Colors of War skin shade on it. So I got the skin look. And then I've got, well, the berets, I used Caldor Sky, Citadel's Caldor Sky. And then I've got a back brush over the top, kind of like a little bit of that dry dust to kind of give the edges like a worn look. And then shade that. And then when I'm done, well, now I've also got to touch up the firearms because the AKs have wood pieces on the firearms. So we'll do that. Then when they're done, then you could clear coat them or something. So it's a lot of steps on little tiny stuff, which is why I use a toothpick, like on the skin. or a needle, depending on what I got to get to. And then if you make a mistake, toothpicks touch things up really easy. So yeah, that's why. So people ask, why is it taking you a while to get that done? Because it's all those steps in each figure, So it does take time. Oh, the recipe. Well, thanks. Some of it's an improvisation on my part, and the other part of it is watched the guy. I can't remember his name, but I have to give credit to like using the Nurgling green. I just never thought of using this particular green to dry brush, and bring out the definition, because believe it or not, these little metal pieces have a ton of definition. I mean, but you do have to file, and it's really difficult to sometimes clean them up. But it's a lot of work, dude. I'll just put it that way. But it's fun. I enjoy it, and they look good. They look better than what this camera could show. This camera has a good overall picture, right? But I don't have a way to adjust it. And so yeah. And the same thing with the troops here, if you could maybe see the little dots on their patches, barely, but that's why. And then I use the Flames of War gunmetal gray on the guns, because for firearms or any kind of that stuff, it comes out really well. So I got just a couple steps left, and then these guys are all done. My HQ's done. I'm getting my objective done. And these Russians are different, so I had to shade them different. Their uniform's different. On these, I know you can't see it, but I got the rifle slings done, and their little packs on their side done. So I tried adding little touches that were, by the time you're done staring at it, your eyes are like, whoa, so it works out. It works out good that way. So sorry, I didn't mean to get overly complicated and run on. There's just a lot of steps to it. So Mini Warmup likes to harass me and like, get him out there, Greg. Well, I can. I can only go so fast doing this stuff, so it does take time, but they look pretty sharp, man. So I'm pretty happy with how that color scheme worked out. Now I have another 24 of them to do, because there's a total of 48. And I'll crack those open. As soon as I touch up the AKs, the rest goes better. And that's it. That's my progress I've been doing. So thanks, Ledford. Yeah, the work is worth it to me, just like all of you guys. You guys are all great painters I've run across, but when people are painting, you stand back and you go, wow. It's kind of like when I did construction work all the time. You do a floor, you stand back and go, wow, I did that. You put these cabinets in, wow, look at the difference in this room, or look what I've done when I sided this house, or whatever you did. The same with painting. You get these basic things and you stand back and go, damn, this looks really good. And then you're happy with it. Thank you, Mythos. Yeah, it is a nice effect. It is worth the time and effort. It's just, how it is, Mythos. You're detailed as hell on your stuff. So it takes you a while, don't it? And sometimes people are like, wow, shouldn't you do it quicker? Well, you can't. I mean, look at these guys. They're small. It's not like every little detail is easy to see and get to, they're tiny. And the work that you do, Mythos, oh, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, because here's another comment you made. Yeah, so we'll start with that one. The feeling of accomplishment is great. You were correct. To stand back and go, wow, you've been there. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That Gilman you sent me, that thing is fantastically done. That's why I kind of bragged about you and put you out there on media. I'm like, look, this is what Mythos did. It's an awesome paint job. You took time and the effort, and I know the effort you put into that, and I really appreciate it, man. So yeah, it is really cool. That's what I like about these. I'm nothing against video games, you guys. I did them all my life. This is just something that, I don't know, like, I just feel more accomplished, to do this. And that's just me. But a lot of painters out there, and I have seen people do historical stuff that's just freaking mind-blowing. Like, they're just beautiful work, beautiful work. And so, well, I'm nowhere near a lot of these people's levels, not by a long shot. I try to do the best I can, and then there's things that I will notice, and then I want to make sure I correct it because I know it's there. It's like people go, "Why do you paint underneath the tank?" Because I know the underneath of the tank is not painted. That's why. That's why I do it. Because I know. Because when it gets blown up and flipped over, then you see the under part of it, and it just that's why I do it. Do I have to paint it? No, I don't. But why not? So hell yeah. And Ledford, yes, it is worth it. It's just nice to accomplish something other than what you're doing for work and stuff like that, you know. And this is something people can see. Ledford, like Mythos knows. I've told him, and Keegan and Clint know that sometimes I train squirrels on the side. Okay, like I teach them how to fly, duct tape them to kites, and then we fly them through the park so that they get over their fear of flying. Of course, the squirrels get really angry about that, Ledford, and sometimes they chew up the kites and then they make these noises and they kind of bark at me. But really, how do I prove that to people? I can't, because the squirrels I have, they're really shy. They come out to eat and have coffee. I know I shouldn't give them coffee, but I do. And they come out to eat, have a cup of coffee with me, but then poof, up in the tree. So really, I can't show off my accomplishments, right? However, this is different, Ledford. This I can show them. Look, see? I got this done. The squirrels, that does make me feel good, though. And occasionally, Ledford, they bring me donuts. Now, I'm thinking they're going into the neighbors' homes. I don't know how to tell them that that's wrong. But, you know, they bring me a donut for the breakfast. So I just let things go. There's only so much you can train them. They're not people. I've done the best I could. They don't bite. And that's the most important thing. And they are kept up on their shots. I know because I ordered their shots from a kid on eBay, and I gave it to him myself. So, yes, it is. Coffee is a universal bonding agent between man and squirrel, Mythos. We have common grounds. And it works on penguins in the sub-zero temperature out here. My boss asked me how I got to work the one day. I said, I ran across the feral herd of penguins. I said, you know, it's almost like they were designed to be out in this cold. And they helped me tunnel through to work. And she just asked me, literally, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm just messing with you. She goes, oh, okay, I thought you said you ran across some real penguins. I said, I did. The one guy, I named him Little Timmy. He's not a monster like Minnie Wormuth likes to make him out to be. Make him an abomination. He's just a cute little guy. Oh, crap, I forgot to take my medicine today, Ledford, so I apologize. Yeah. You gotta have fun. That's all I can say. Just a little bit. A little bit of fun. I got a universal comment. Someone called me a dork. Hey, cool. I'm good with that. I am a dork. But that's all right. So anyways, yeah. That's what I've accomplished, my friends, is a ton of detail. That's what I've been doing during the week. And I could have done them all at once. You know, do all this green. I want to do a set. Okay, you know why, Mythos? You know what's coming, right? Because if it doesn't come out the way I was hoping it would, I don't want to do them all. See? Minnie Wormuth just called me a dork. Hello, sir. How are you? So now that I have an idea of how they're coming out, then I can go ahead and do the rest and feel good about putting them on display out there. Because Minnie Wormuth said they're going to critique me. And I'm like, okay. Your feet are sore. Must have done a lot of walking there, Minnie Wormuth. And did you score any good books at your cell? I is tired. Yeah. Well, hopefully you found some good deals. Yeah. Cool. You'll have to show off some of your deals then. We'll have to take a look. I'm wondering, though, Mini Warmut, did you find any gaming, uh, anything that would be in the gaming world that we do, magazine, book wise, any kind of deals or things you were just like, wow, this is, I got to have this for whatever reason? Hopefully you did. But, oh, you got a signed copy of the Ancient. And can I ask what you scored it for? Or you don't have to tell us. But I'm betting if it's you, you got it for pretty cheap. Yeah, Mythos loves him there anymore. $2? $2. Props to you, sir. That's a score. $2. Oh, yeah, but if it's buried, and you had to dig through it. That's what me and Mythos were talking about earlier, like a reward for what you do. That's a reward, man. You found it. That is awesome. That's an awesome deal. Very cool. Aha, stupid phone. There we go. Shame goes out the door. Hey, it's okay, Mini Warmut. It's all good. I used to tell people a joke. They would be like, well, how'd it go on Black Friday? I'd be like, well, all the pushing, screaming, yelling, and shoving, gets to be a bit much. I hope I didn't hurt anybody, and so, yeah, it's okay that it goes out the door. Wait a minute. You didn't have a lot of shame to begin with, did you? No, wait. Yeah. Yeah, you're okay, Mini Warm-Up. We'll order you some from Amazon. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. Speaking of shame, Mini Warm-Up, ask Keegan if he won or lost against D today, because he lost. So, yeah, just ask him. Send him a message. Hey, how'd your game go? But, geez, if you can get a deal on a book like that, that's cool. I mean, honestly, a deal's a deal these days. You can't really just let them go. He gets a definition of shame. Well, he just doesn't have any Mini Warmut. I don't know. I bought him some extra shame. I told him to keep this, with him at all times, and he lost it. So, no, I don't know. It's there somewhere. Half price, and it was a zoo there. So wait, did you get the book for $2, or did you get it for half off and get it for $1, or was it $4 with half off, making it $2? Because I don't want to complicate things. But if you got it for half off and only paid $2, then I guess it was $4. So we'll just leave it at that, and that's still a good deal. It's kind of like we have one of those Amazon bin stores here in the area, like 10 minutes from here. And if you go on a day where it's marked down as dollar day, my God, it's like people are just gonna, they're just gonna run you over trying to get stuff. It was $4 to $2. Thank you, May Warmount. I've been working very hard at counting. See, 1, 2, 3. I think there's 5 of these things on this hand. So between both my hands and my toes, I can count to 20 without making a mistake, sir. So I'm glad I was right. $4 marked to 2. That's a score, sir. There you go. You got to have it. So now, if you can find me a place to score some cheap paints for $2 a pot or a bottle, then that would be fantastic. Because You guys notice how the price on the paint just creeping up there? Yeah, just a little bit. I'm gonna get me 4 bottles of paint, $27. What the hell? You know? You just yeah. Not sure if anyone knows the author, Mark Lawrence. Minnie Wormut says he busted out a few of his books too. Well, if you went looking specifically for, certain authors and certain things and you're hoping to find them, it sounds like you did very well. And um, I mean, if you're getting some deals and you're happy and you got time to read, then by all means do it. Reading is something I used to do, but it's a little bit hard to do sometimes. I can read rule books if I have to, but I used to be able to sit and enjoy reading. No Stephen King books. That's okay. You don't need no crazy nightmare stuff. You deal with zombies. That will terrify most anybody, especially the abominations you come up with, horses and such. So you're okay. You don't need no scary books anymore. But you're not gonna have, it'd be too hard to go to sleep at night, sir. And you can't do that. Good luck finding time to read. Well, I guess I can read the chat somewhat. So, you know. But it is nice to try to just sit and be left alone. It's not that I guess it's not that I don't have the time. I don't have the time because I've got to get like these things done, or I want to. So if I'm going to choose between reading and stuff, then or painting, I'm going to paint. Besides, Minnie Wormut, if I read too much, I start learning big words like plethora, and then I want to use them, and then I just sound weird, Look, a plethora of minis. But see, then that's not really me. So I have to be careful what I read, sir. But again, if you're able to find time to read, hey, read away. That's all you can do. So, what? Medical thrillers, suspense stuff. Do I know the author of the movie Contagion? No, I don't. Sorry, I had to cover my mouth because my comment would have been inappropriate. But no. Who is the author? No. Why stop? Minnie Wormut, you don't have to stop. It's cool. We're good with it. I just don't know. I don't know the name of the author who wrote the book. So you're excited about what you found. You're fine. That's good. Oh, you just said Robin Cook? Oh, yeah, I guess you did. Charles, he promises himself to read about 300 pages a month, and Mythos is right. Never stop your excitement, sir. Hey, you got good deals, man. That's what counts. And Ledford says Robin Cook is a good author. There you go, you guys. Mark Wahlberg isn't he the guy that makes burgers? Because we have a Wahlburgers here, or Wahlburgers or whatever, yeah, with his family, which I haven't eaten at because it's expensive hamburger. But see, that's where it helped me to read, huh, Minnie Wormut? Because then I could read the menu. You said meathead with your Archie Bunker voice. There you go. Well, that's cool, Minnie Wormut, that you scored some deals and you're happy. If you went out and had a good day today, then there you go. That's what counts. You had a good day. So there, Archie Bunker. Well, I can picture you saying it like that too, sir. Yeah. Yep. Imagine that show being aired today. That'd be a whole different talk show, wouldn't it? You're looking at Greek hop. Okay. You've gotten quite a bit of stuff put up lately too, Mini Worm. I noticed you just wham, wham, wham. I guess I could start putting individual stuff up. I just haven't had a chance. I'm just looking around like I got to get this stuff for our March to Victory thing finished up. But I don't know, man. If I can't get Clayton Keegan to use their resin printer appropriately, I might try to look at getting one. Maybe maybe get out and get on a street corner and hold up a sign. Broke hobbyist miniature painter needs funds for a printer. I bet you the other miniature painters would probably stop by, give me coffee or something too. Yeah, it came out pretty good, didn't it? I ordered that, Ryan. It's going to fit right in because the box set came with 3, and I thought, yeah, the short videos do help. I've gotten some pretty good response, 4, 5, 600 views, 600 on like the one. So you're right, but I don't think they count that towards watch time. At least that's what I was told. But trying to get the short videos out, it just depends, man. Sometimes I'll sit down, I'm like, oh crap, I've got an hour, and then I end up painting for 2 hours, and then it's But the little videos, I like doing the short ones. They're easier. People are more inclined to listen on the short stuff, like we've all talked about before. People's attention spans are not, they're not good for trying to do long battle reports and stuff. It's better to break it up, I think. And the shorts do help get you noticed. They do. Yeah, I agree with you there, Mini Warmut. It's not about the watch time, it's the notice. Yeah, I just have to do. The problem is I can only do so much in a given time that I have after work and such. You know what I mean? Like if I had more available time, but lately I think I've made some pretty damn good use of my time. Think about it over the last 2 months, man. I've redone this room, moved everything in, cleaned everything, reset everything up, still did all my other stuff, played games, got the show every week. So I actually am getting things done. I'm starting to get to where it's looking like, aha, there's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm getting caught up. So I'm just focusing on, like I was telling Mythos earlier, my Necromunda stuff is done. I even kit bashed my first thing, that tank thing I showed you guys. So that's done. That's ready to go. I've got to get the Team Yankee stuff done again for the show we're going to. Once that's done, I can then switch back. I'll probably go over to finish up my Star Wars Legion and a box of the alien figures I found. I want to get those all tidied up, but one thing at a time. So I've accomplished a lot in the last 2 months for myself, and so I'm pretty happy. But the detail stuff, I guess I don't have to, but I want to, and they're coming out really good. So I guess I could try to squeeze something in there. But it is hard to do, though, dude. It's hard to squeeze out anymore. And then I love watching my granddaughter. That's never a problem. She's going to be a year old next month on the 8th. And she's such a fun little kid, man. We just have a blast. So when I get to watch her at night, obviously, I can't let an 11-month-old around here because she's going to try to eat all this stuff, right? And I don't want my paint ruined. But, it's a trade-off. But you know what? Kids are only kids once, right? And then they grow up, and then they're adults. So then I still have time to paint. And it's all good, man. But I will try to get some more videos out there. I actually want to get back to doing my podcast more like I used to. I've actually gotten emails about that. And so I need to get back to doing my podcast. And that's something I've got to incorporate again. So this year we've just got a lot that we're straightening out, and I think, well, I know it's going good so far. I can't complain. But it does help get the channel noticed for sure. So there you go, you guys. That's it for me for now. It is 5:30. I'm going to let you guys go so you can have a good evening with your significant others. Thank you, Mythos and Mini Wormut and Charles and Ledford and everybody that stopped by. I appreciate it. It's always nice. I really like talking to you guys. So I will have more stuff done, and I'll try to, Mini Wormut, squeeze out some more little videos and see what I can do there. I'm also working on my Gamers with Coffee website. So that's something I'm building independently, because it's just I didn't want like a stock site. So yes, I can build some websites. Yes, I know a little bit of web stuff to do. Basic stuff. I'm not some expert programmer, but I can build a website. So that's what I'm doing. All right. Let's do that, Mythos, before you go. You think about when you'd like to do a painting session and message me on Messenger, and let me know in advance when you want to do it, and I can do it. I'll do it. Know what I mean? And all right, you guys. Yeah, the Gamers and Coffee website that it's taken me, I want to say most of the year, but see, you'll see what I'm talking about when it's done. It's not going to be like someone else's where you just go to, like gamerscoffee.com and it's just about us. Nope. It's going to be interactive, and there's going to be a lot to be done. You can actually join it. It's going to be something different. So, but I want to be different on purpose. I don't want to be the same. So I will let you guys go when it comes out. When I'm getting close to getting done with it. So probably after the show next month, I'm going to invite a couple of you guys to just come on and beta test it and have you join it, because it's going to be different than what you think. All right. I will let you guys go. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you again for showing up. Charles, have a good evening too, sir. And yeah, let me know if you want to do a painting session. I'm all for that. Till next time, you guys, take care of yourselves and your family.